Alright, so it says to soak the rock wool for a half hour prior to germinating the seeds with clean fresh water. I have chlorinated water in my system, but I have a refrigerator with a water purifier that I'm going to try to use and keep up on. But for this, I'm going to use clean store-bought drinking water. Soaking the water up pretty good. Okay, it's really not really leaking through much at all, so that rock wool is working well. I'm going to go ahead and put these in now. So what this is there's two sets of seeds. One is for your microgreens at the top, and then the other one is for your salad starter seeds, greens at the bottom half. So I'll do one half with the microgreens, and these are just kind of mixed together. It doesn't separate these ones. It's got a mixture of broccoli, kale, kohlrabi, arugula, and red acre cabbage. Again, it says 4 to 7 seeds in each one, so kind of guesstimate here.
I thought it said to let that soak for half an hour first.
It did, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and
But okay.
put these in. So there's that one. And then in this one, is called the Baby Green Spicy Salad Mix, and this has broccoli, kale, kohlrabi, arugula, red cabbage, and southern giant mustard. That sounds yummy. Southern giant mustard, I've never even heard of that. Should be an interesting taste. Oh yeah, and the seeds are different too. These ones are long, and these ones are more rounded. The difference between these ones, I believe, and the other set is going to be these get picked when they're small, and you add them to your salad for...
You know which ones are which?
I do. These are going to be my microgreens, and on the back half will be the mustard, and on the front half will be the other ones. So then on here, we went ahead and started already. We started with arugula and kale, and these are going to be bigger plants, and so these are for the bottom half of the tower garden. Try to be as expeditious as possible. And then we have rainbow chard, which is pretty good. I'm actually growing some of this outside right now, but it's on the tail end. I didn't eat much of it out there because the birds pooed on it. And other things. So these seeds are pretty big actually. Big old funky seeds. My hands are clean, but generally not supposed to really handle seeds from the oils from our skins. Put 3 in each one. So that was rainbow chard, and this came again with the system. Then we have basil, which I heard grows really fast and really well in these. When it's young and green, it tastes pretty good. I'm not a big basil fan when it gets older, but try a couple of these too. And we have bib lettuce, which should be big full heads when it grows. It looks really good, and it's got a really long root structure from what I saw on the YouTube videos. I'll do a few of these because part of the reason that we bought this was so that I could stop the ever expanding gut. Try to reverse that. I've actually never had bib lettuce before, to my knowledge. It looks okay. And then last but not least, which should be the most tasty, I believe, and it's called Gourmet Lettuce. And we'll go ahead and set this on the back end. Everything about this setup so far, from between the initial setup, which took a total of 56 minutes, to the instructions for planting seeds, has been pretty straightforward and easily understandable. Pretty much, I think anybody could figure it out pretty easily. So there we go on that. Then it says to take our vermiculite and place it over the top, fill each hole. Yeah. Not good to breathe this stuff. Look at that. It's basically just enough to give it a medium to cover it, allow the seeds to germinate. A little scoop would have been nice. There you go. Getting into the finer stuff, it makes it easier to fill up the holes here. Getting it done. Need some background music to this. Catching the flow now. Little pinch here, little pinch there. There we go. And they give you these little mini greenhouses to clamp it shut, keep the moisture in, and that way they can germinate in peace. Normally germinating seeds, I would put them in the dark. I'm thinking that the vermiculite covering will do enough to give them the darkness that they need, and then once they sprout to the light, they're going to want to grow. So I'm going to set them next to my previous growing machine, which is my little hydroponic setup here. This one's different because it's got a base with a reservoir, and the roots kind of just grow and sit in the water, and you feed it to nutrients like that. It's got a little pump that pushes the water around, but this has worked out pretty good. Everything's pretty healthy. It's a neat little setup. It's just not big enough to grow enough for anybody to eat on a sustained basis, or maybe I just got a big appetite. Part of the reason for eating salad, right? At least they'll be hitting that negative calorie mark. That, along with a little bit of daily exercise, is my planned goal. I'm already doing the exercise. I've been eating wraps instead of bread, going with greens, and I haven't really lost any weight yet, but I've gained muscle rather than, and it's kind of converting the fat into muscle. The muscle's a little bit heavier than that, so I must be losing something, I'm hoping. So anyways, there we go on that. Then we go ahead and close it, clip shut. Go ahead and set these over here. Next to the other plants. Maybe I'll throw a towel over the top, keep them in the dark. But that is the end of that. So now the seeds are germinating, and it will be ready to go for the tower garden.
See you next video.
See you next video.